Okay, day one of this project, we're going to be, the client here actually had a problem with their sewer drain pipe here, so they had to jack all this up, replace that piping. Now I'm here to fix up the tile for them, so I'm going to rip out all the rest of this floor tile, this base molding, replace the tile in the base, and then put everything back together here with the doors. So day one here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do here on this project is I'm going to use my cup grinder here. Of course, I got my vacuum attachment, I got some zip walls up so I keep the dust to a minimum. I'm going to grind the old concrete that wasn't patched in on this project just to make sure the pores are open and we got a good bond with our mortar to that. If there's any other high spots, I'm going to check out my shreddage and grind those down as well. So that's step one to prepping this concrete slab for tile. Okay, now that I got everything grinded down, I'm going to come back through, wipe everything down with a damp sponge to make sure we get any residual dust off the surface. And also what I'm doing here is just giving everything a nice shrink before I spread my patch material. Because this patch material is actually a wrapper set as it is, so you know, if you don't give that substrate, in this case, you know, the concrete, a nice shrink before you spread it, it's going to go off too quickly. And when I say go off, it's going to dry too quickly. You don't want that. You want to make sure things dry properly. It's not too hot, not too cold. You don't got wind blowing all over the place. And your substrate, meaning your floor, the walls, whatever you're putting it on, is not sucking, you know, the life out of it, sucking the moisture, the water out of the mix here. So what I'm going to do is get out of the bucket, and I'm going to treat it out and make sure everything is nice flat prior to putting down our membrane here. Okay, now that this section is actually dry, I'm going to take some more patch material here. Make sure that everything is filled in around the perimeter there where the screed stopped. Make sure everything is nice and smooth, fill out any low spots. And what I'm going to use here is not just any trowel. I like to use a 12 or 16 inch flat trowel, meaning there's no notches on either side. It's flat, that way I can go both ways with the patch, get everything nice and smooth, nice and flat. And what I like to do too, a quick tip I'll give it to you, is when this patch material is drying, especially when you first treat it with a straight edge, a lot of times you'll have little chunks, little high spots here and there. So right when it's drying, like depending on the temperature, right when it starts to stiffen up a little bit, I'll take the back of this flat trowel, kind of drag it on its edge, just to take off those high spots, well, right before it's almost completely dry. You don't want it to be damp or at all, you want it to be almost dry. You pull that off, that way you're not having little bumps here and there. And then, you know, if you have the time, I like to do it like this too. Really add one more layer on there, just to make everything smooth, get out those edges, because this patch material really only likes to go down to about 1/8. So anywhere on the perimeter where it's up about 1/8 or so, where it meets the other substrate, other parts of the floor there, I make sure everything is one continuous piece, nice and smooth. And sometimes what I'll do, even with this mix, I'll make it a little bit looser, that way I can get it tighter to the floor, meaning, you know, not an 1/8 inch high in this spot, get it real tight to the floor within about a 1/16 it allowed me to get with this material. So quick tip for you there, that's how I prep in this floor and this situation for this project. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped you one way or another. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment, and I get back to most of my comments. So if you have any questions at all about your project, I'm definitely here to help. So let me know how. Thanks for tuning in, guys.